What's up, everybody? In today's video we are going to teach Emmett how to change a tire. Okay, so we are going to do this in Casper, our minivan, and mostly because for you viewers, you don't have old classics like Maui, you have more modern cars like our minivan. So I'm going to show you how to use the equipment that you have in your car. The reason I'm doing that is because the old equipment versus what's in there now is very different. Here we are going to show you how it works. It's going to take a little bit of time, but this video will be a lot faster than last week's video. I hope you enjoy it. Hang in there. You'll learn something. If you don't know how to change a tire, show it to your kids so they can learn how to change a tire. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be pretending we got a flat, but I'm not going to break out the actual spare. The spare in this minivan is in a horrible location. Most cars, they're in the trunk, a lot easier to get to. In trucks, they're right under the bed, a lot easier to get to. Minivans are horrible. Okay, so these are the things that you will find inside your vehicle to change your tire. This is your jack. These things are the devil. I hate them, but they're necessary. This is what they give you to take the lug nuts off and to lift and lower your jack. That's what it looks like. Okay. And then this right here, you put these together so you can raise and lower your spare tire wherever it's located if it's underneath the vehicle. Now, I highly recommend you get one of these. This is what I'm going to actually be using. Hold this in it. It's got the 4 major sizes, 4 lug nuts on it, and it is a whole lot easier to use than that thing.
It's also kind of heavy.
So anyway, we'll get started. All right, so this is the jack stand, and as you can see, there's a little notch right here. That notch goes between these folds right here. Ugh, that's dirty. Anyway, so you raise the jack till it hits that notch and makes contact with the car, because this is how you're going to lift the car. Okay, and then you take this devil machine right here and you rotate. Okay, so now it has made contact with the vehicle. Before you lift the tire off of the ground, you take your lug nut remover. That's what I'm going to call it because I can't remember what it's called right now. I'm going to use this 4-way because, like I said, it's much better than this. You use this, find the right size. Okay, there's the right size, and you break all of the lug nuts loose. So now all the lug nuts are broke loose. Then you go back to your jack. You lift the vehicle up. Make sure you turn in it the right direction. The reason you break those lug nuts loose is because once the tire gets in the air and you try to do that, the tire will just spin because the lug nuts will be too tight for you to get loose, and it will take less power to spin the tire than it will to break the tires loose. So when you have contact with the ground will not let the tire spin while you're breaking the lug nuts loose. Now, when you're lifting the vehicle, you don't want the tire to be super high off the ground because they're heavy. You want to try to minimize the height you have to lift the tire. So as soon as the tire spins freely, I would give it about 2 more good turns, which is 4 passes like that. Now, I got plenty of space under there, so I can take the tire on and off. Alright? Then, if you have your 4-way, you just spin it. Alright, after you get all the lug nuts off, pick the tire up, take it off, and then you would get your spare and put it on. Again, I didn't get the spare out because it's a pain in the butt on this vehicle. It's a lot easier on anything other than minivans. Now, while I have the tire off, important parts of the vehicle that Emmett should know.
Alright.
This right here, this thing right here is called the rotor.
Alright.
This is what the brakes grab a hold of to stop the vehicle from moving. This right here is a brake pad. Can you see where I'm pointing on the camera?
Yes.
This is your brake pad. And this is the brake caliper. So while we have the tire off, we can go ahead and look at our brakes. There's plenty of brake pad left, so the brakes are good. All right. Now, when you get your spare and you're ready to put it on, you roll it over and you line the holes up with the studs. Okay. That way, once you get it over there, just kind of walk it over there. Once you get it lined up, all you got to do is just barely lift. Boom. It slides right on. Okay. Then you get your lug nuts started. Always start with your fingers first to make sure you don't cross threads. Okay? So, see how it's spinning freely while I'm tightening it down? Now I'm gonna attempt to cross thread on purpose so you can see what it looks like when you cross thread.
Plus I have
Okay.
no idea.
That one is cross thread. I can't, well, it was. It won't let me cross thread it. Hold on. That one's started. Alright, let's try this one. It's so hard to cross thread when you want to do it on purpose.
Maybe it's because then the lug nuts know you're trying to cross thread them when they're not alive.
Alright, that one's cross threaded. So, when it's cross threaded, it's a lot harder to turn it. So, back it back off, line it up again, and it should turn smoothly. Just like that.
It looked like you were making a hand puppet when you were turning it. Like what?
Do it again. Alright, now that they're all on, then you take your tool. I'm going to start with this one, just so y'all know that it does fit and it's... Okay. Then you go to the one across from it. That way your tire is put on correctly so the tire doesn't wobble while you're driving down the street. Okay? You go to the one across from that, tighten it down. Then you go to the one across from that, Then you go to the one across from that. All right, now you want to tighten it as tight as you can while holding it with your feet. Before you lower the car. I like to check them all a couple times just to make sure that as tight as I can do it without the car being on the ground. Alright, at this point, you lower the vehicle. So, put this back on. Put this back on and just start lowering it. Now, when you get the vehicle back on the ground, you want to take your tire iron, put it back on, just give it another little oomph on each one. It's on the lug nut all the way. And then, like I said, I do it a couple times. Now, you don't have to use superhuman strength or anything, because you don't want to break the studs. But
What happens if you break the studs?
then the lug nut comes off, and then you have a risk of the tire falling off.
And crashing?
So you don't want to break the studs, just tighten it down, and then at this point you go to your local tire shop and get your new tire put back on your original rim and your spare put up. If you're just changing tires at home on your own and you do this, you can always take your vehicle to your local tire shop and ask them to torque the lug nuts to make sure that they're on at the right pressure. That way you don't risk the lug nut backing off while you're driving and your tire falling off. So always take it to a local tire shop and get them to torque your lug nuts for you. It's free and they'll be more than happy to do it. So that is how you change your tire in case of emergency and you have to do it yourself. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Comment down below if you think I missed a step or there was something important that I missed, or if you enjoyed this video and you're going to show it to your kids, please let me know that, because that's the whole point of these videos, is to help teach your kids how to do these kind of things on their own if they're in an emergency. So please comment down below. Share this video with your friends on Facebook, Instagram, whatever you want. I'll have links in the bio to my Facebook page. Also, check out Rosie Posey Mama. A link to her channel will be down in the description as well. Until next time, enjoy the ride, and we'll see you next time.